Hi guys, welcome to the Sodcast with me, Wendy Sod, your host. If this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button for me. Really helps out the channel. And just a little update on where I've been, what I've been doing. I know I haven't posted in the last couple weeks. Last I talked to you guys, I was headed to Punta Cana for vacation. And we did go. It was amazing. I will post a little review of our resort and stuff like that if you guys want to take a look at that. But the day I got back from vacation, I ended up getting a pretty bad back injury. And I've been laid up for the last couple weeks. So sitting here in this chair has been a little difficult. So today is going to be my first go at it. If I look miserable, it's because I'm 100% just in misery right now. So bear with me, but we'll try to get through this. So today I'm just going to give you guys an update I promised you on the Delphi murders and the arrest of Richard Allen. So a couple weeks ago when they made the arrest, I did a video right after the press conference and gave you guys that update, but I just wanted to bring you guys up to speed on where we're at with some of the information that has kind of been out there. Nothing too exciting, so don't get all excited over this video because I really don't have a lot of new stuff to tell you, but just some interesting things I thought I'd let you guys know about. So I guess police with the police department had wanted a new set of eyes on this case. And so they had a new set of investigators take a look at the whole case and all the evidence over the last 5 years. And as they were scrubbing over this information, they stumbled upon a statement given by Richard Allen on or about the day the girls were found. And he made this statement to one of the conservation officers that was on the scene that day. And he had told this officer that, yes, he was in that location on the Monahai Bridge on the day that the girls went missing, but he did not ever see the girls. And so there's all this this talk out there right now that, you know, the police forgot about this. It was lost in evidence. And, you know, I don't believe that's the case. I believe that they've known about it, that, you know, they've been working on this for the last 5 years, trying to come up with enough to arrest him, and possibly that played into that. But I don't think it was just forgotten about. So there's that. And then, just to mention that some of the evidence that was found at the crime scene that I think is going to come into play eventually, and I just want to mention it, is there was unidentified hairs and fibers that were found at the crime scene on the girls' bodies. They also have made statements that they believe that the killer took momentums from the crime scene and possibly from the girls' bodies that day in the way of possibly taking photos and videos. Now remember, they said that they thought the girls' bodies had been posed. And they had also made mention that possibly they had taken some kind of trophies from the girls' bodies. We don't know what those are right now. I'm just throwing that out there so that, you know, when all this comes to light, we're going to say, oh yeah, that's why they said that. So let's talk a little bit about the search of Richard Allen's property. So they have not really released anything yet, as far as the police have not released anything yet of what was found during that search. But the neighbors will tell you that the search went on for about 12 hours, and that largely their focus was on a fire pit in the backyard of the property. Did they find something there? I don't know. I'm so curious. It's driving me nuts. But I guess the neighbors just said they just kept focusing on it. And we don't know yet what all come out of that search. You know, did they find some of these trophies? Who knows? Also, we're going to talk a little bit about some photos that have surfaced that were posted on social media by Richard Allen, his wife, of his family. So there was one photo that surfaced of Richard Allen and his family out on Monahai Bridge. And I believe this was posted approximately a year after the girls went missing. And it was of his daughter standing on the bridge in the exact location where the girls were last seen. Just a very, very disturbing, eerie feeling when you see that picture. The second photo that has surfaced is one that I believe his wife posted, and it is Richard sitting there, and in the background on a bulletin board is that of the police sketch that was done initially, and he's just sitting there grinning. And whether it was intentional that that photo was back there behind him or not, very eerie photo. So that's a couple things. Also, the police keep making references that there's possibly one other suspect in this case. I've heard him say it several times. And a lot of people, including private investigators that have been hired to work on this case or just independently working on this case, believe that the other person they are referencing is Ron Logan. Now, if you remember Ron Logan, he was the one that owned the property where the girls' bodies were found. Now, let's talk about him a little bit. If he is involved in this, I'm just going to start by saying he will never serve justice for this because he passed away in 2020. But he, to me, right from the get-go, seems to have kind of thrown himself into this investigation a little more than I'm comfortable with. He's did a lot of interviews. I mean, he just wants to be in the middle of it, and very suspicious to me. But so they initially they did do a search of his property, and in the search warrant it stated that there was probable cause, how was it worded, probable cause that this was a scene of a homicide, something to that effect. And it's never really been released what they found, if anything was found during that search. Obviously, no arrest was made from it, on his end anyway. But there's that. Let's see, now there's been people that have said, you know, there's no way Ron Logan could have been involved in this. He was an old, decrepit man at the time. He was 77. There's no way he could have, you know, controlled two girls. Not the case. If you see this guy in these interviews, and he's walking down through the woods, up these hills, down these hills, you know, he's very able-bodied, if you ask me. He doesn't appear to be a decrepit old man like some are saying. He was known to wear very similar clothing to what Bridge Guy was wearing that day. I've seen some reports saying that 2 days later he did an interview and he was wearing the same exact outfit. That's not true. I put a side-by-side here comparing the two. Very, very similar, and most of his clothing and his hat, very similar. The way he dressed and Bridge Guy dressed, but I don't see where the outfit was identical. Also, I was very curious to see, I wanted to see Ron Logan walk, because Bridge Guy had a very distinctive walk and a limp. And I was curious to see if Ron Logan, his gait was, the same. So I found a side-by-side of those two, and clearly Bridge Guy has a much more pronounced limp than what Ron Logan does. But to see them walk side by side, it is uncanny. I mean, it is just really looks very similar to me, you guys. It's hard to say. Let me know what you guys think on that down below in the comments. I'm curious. So also there's the fact that Ron Logan, his cell phone was pinging down where the girls' bodies were found on the day that they were placed there. Also, he had asked, I believe, a cousin to lie for him as an alibi on the day of the murders. So, you know, you have all these things that add up to just suspicious. I don't know. Not real sure what I think on that one. I don't know if I think the two of them did it together, Ron Logan or Richard. I don't know. I just really don't have an opinion on it yet. But so then another question that kept coming up in my mind was, if it's Richard Allen or even if it's Ron Logan, why now, at their ages, do you just decide I'm going to go out and kill two girls? And, you know, I felt like whoever did this, it wasn't their first rodeo. And so I was curious to see what was going on during that time before and after these murders. Were there other murders? Were there other missing girls? Were, you know, what was going on? And it turns out that the number one thing I found, which I don't feel is linked, possibly could be, I'm just going to mention it because it's out there, is there was a large amount of arsons going on during this time in Indiana, all over the state. And it was one of the arsons that was committed ended up killing 4 little girls of one family. And these fires were just set all over the state. And I don't know if there's a link or not. The same person, I don't know, just saying it. Some other things that were going on during that time was the disappearance of Lauren Spear. She was a 20-year-old girl, last seen in June of 2011 in Lafayette, Indiana. And she was leaving a local sports bar, and she was never seen again. Now, some people are saying Allen could be linked to this one because he was a manager of Walmart, and so he worked at not only his home base Walmart, but he traveled to other Walmarts. And in 2011, Richard Allen was working at the Lafayette Walmart during Lauren's disappearance. He also was known to frequent sports bars. So there's that. I don't have an opinion on that. I don't feel like it's connected. I feel like his MO is younger girls. I just get that feeling from him. The second case that has came up that could possibly be linked, and police are saying there is no connection, is the 2013 Evansdale murders of Elizabeth Collins, who was 8, and Lyric Cook, 10 years old, who were riding their bikes in a wooded area near Lake Meyer, and they went missing and were murdered. Now, the reason, not only the setting is similar to the Delphi murders, but the fact that there was a Walmart near where the girls were last seen, that Allen, with his job at Walmart, he would travel, like I said. It is unknown if he traveled to this Walmart that was near where the girls were last seen or not, but it's a possibility. Who knows? did he see the girls? And, you know, we don't know. So that is where we are at with the Delphi murders, arrests, possible other suspects, possible other cases linked. Who knows? I'm just throwing all this stuff out there. Don't call me crazy. I know it sounds like a big jumbled mess, but that is all the stuff I could find, you guys. If you would be so gracious to leave me some comments down below and let me know if there's anything else that I'm leaving out, or other cases you guys want me to look into. Please, please, please. I'm always looking for suggestions. And thank you for joining me for today, you guys. And I will see you on the next case. Bye.